Okay, so I don't think I will cry, but let's see what happens.
Wait. How long do you think your speech will be?
I don't know, like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
I can talk really slowly. But the first person that I want to thank for part of my Key Club journey is actually my brother. He's an alumni, but he encouraged me before I joined, before I even got into this school to join Key Club. And as a little sister, I really looked up to my brother, even though he's like really annoying and ugly. But I really I really looked up to him, and so I decided like, why not? I'll join. And this was during remote time, so it was really difficult. But that leads me to the second person that I really want to thank, which was actually the vice president at the time, Matthew He. He was the vice president at the time, but also my K-Fam leader. And I remember some of my first events were virtual. However, he encouraged everyone in our K-Fam to go on a call and do it together. And we got to know each other and play music. And those are some of the first new friends that I've ever made in Bronx Science. And I guess I always look up to Matthew He in the terms of he is what I want to be to other people, someone who brings others in and makes the environment so welcoming. Because I was so intimidated as a freshman to even like speak up in the meeting. Oh my gosh, you guys don't understand. When I was PR co-head, I had to get up like what Stacy and Sumaya do right now for position sets and speak. But I only had to like turn on my little camera and like turn on my voice and speak to the Zoom call. But I was shaking. I was literally shaking through those. But yeah, back to Matthew. He's what I always aspire to be for other people. So I just always want to thank him because he's what really got me to this position, because he encouraged me to run for co-head, and I was like, why not? This club's kind of funny, kind of cute. So I didn't know. Oh my gosh, the interview, I remember the interview so clearly. Because I remember like after the interview, I thought I messed up so bad that I just started crying after the interview. I didn't know I would become a PR co-head, but now I was a PR co-head. And through being a co-head, one of the first things that I want to note is I became friends with Chrissy through that. One of our first events was a fundraiser. It was the Black Widow fundraiser. And I remember afterwards, Chrissy and I got to talk. I'm also born in like the countryside, the suburbs. I'm born in Indiana, which also, if you don't know where that is, I don't blame you. It's right next to Illinois. I actually went to Chicago before. I was like, oh, that's so funny. But I remember us walking, and we were like, oh, we were talking about the stars in the countryside. But yeah, that's how I became friends with Chrissy.
No stars here.
Yeah, there's no stars here. It's so sad. You guys gotta go to the countryside and just see the stars, because you can like see the constellations sometimes. It's really pretty. Anyways, that's how I became friends with Chrissy. And the first in-person event, I thought it was so, I don't know, looking back on it, I was really awkward, but in the moment, I was so happy to actually see people and like talk to these people. Like the first co-head meeting was very awkward. Well, in an awkward timing, because it was pretty much at the end of our co-head term. Or actually, it was like in the summer, but like a good chunk into our co-head term. But I got to make a lot of other friends through the co-head role. Someone who's not here right now, but is one of my closest friends now. Annie, I actually got to get really close with her through being a co-head, and then we sat next to each other in statistics. She was my only friend in AP Stat, and I really appreciate her for that, and I really value our friendship. And also, of course, I got to meet all of you through the co-head role. I'll talk about that later. But what I learned as a PR co-head, I very much value. I talked about how I was shaking during like even going to unmute myself to talk about the petition sets. But now I'm like not shaking, and I'm talking to all of you guys in person. And that confidence I gained from being a PR co-head, and I very much value that. I also gained a lot of skills from being a PR co-head. I learned how to use Canva, which I just used to like do a Chinese project, and yeah, it was very valuable. And I learned about so many topics, so many issues, because of course Key Club is about service. And then some of my favorite events was like NISOM events are really nice, and this specific NISOM event was one of my favorites. It was one of my first big events, and I also dragged a lot of my friends along. It was a Halloween NISOM event, and a lot of my friends, Key Club gives us an opportunity to actually hang out, or else we wouldn't be hanging out because we're so busy. But Key Club is like kind of like, oh, we still feel productive, but we're like hanging out. And I got to be one of my friends back then that's very, very, very close to me now. We weren't that close back then, but we got to be very close through the Halloween event. And then I also dragged a lot of them into the co-head position from dragging them into Key Club, so I very much value that. And then my all-time favorite event is actually Hong Kong Boat Festival, even though it was like 24 hours long. Those 24 hours I actually spent with Shaya, which I'll talk about later. I cannot have you crying right now. But it was really very, very fun because I remember back then, there were actually some like new freshmen. It was the beginning of this service year, and it was the summer, and there were even freshmen that haven't even gone to the school yet that was at the event, and it was so rewarding to see like, oh, these are like new club members that will be in my service term for treasurer. And then going on to my treasurer role, it's been so rewarding to have exceeded like the fundraising goal twice, and not only that, to think about the amount of like positive change that we've contributed to the community is insane. And I also hear about all your guys' experience about like having fun at fundraisers, meeting new people, and that really motivates me to like keep going. Like I enjoyed that so much, all your guys' experience. But other than that, I really want to thank Malika and Emily specifically, because you guys have dealt with so much. I wasn't in the fundraising committee before, so going into the treasurer role, I was honestly really lost. So I really want to thank you guys. Thank you so much. You guys have been insane. They're like, oh my gosh, okay, Mandy will talk about it later, but I love them so much. So thank you guys so much. And then besides that, I think being a board member was actually a bigger role than being a treasurer. And what I mean by that is you make a lot of decisions as board, but you make them together, and I think we've been through so much together as a board. I very much value the time that you guys have spent on like Zoom calls, talking through like giving me advice, just life advice. Like a lot of our Zoom calls, a lot of our calls are just like life advice, and they would go into like 3 a.m. but some of those advice have changed my life so drastically that I don't know where I would be without all those calls. And then individually, I'll start out with John Won too. John Won, you're always so happy. I mean, okay, I guess it's not happy. You're always so calm, and you just have created this environment that I feel so comfortable in. Jungwon, I feel like you have struggles yourself, but you always prioritize us first, and I want to thank you so much for that. Like, you have been such a great support. And then Chrissy, again, this is awkward, so I'm not gonna say much, but I just want to say that moving into this new service year with you, I'm like incredibly grateful that I get to move into it with you, because I think we work really well together, and the fact that we were able to become friends through Key Club, I really much value our friendship. I can talk to you about so much, and that's just so comforting to know that I have you during the next term as well. Mandy, oh my goodness, you are insane. First of all, you're just extremely welcoming in every sense possible. your work ethic, oh my goodness, I aspire to be you so much. You're so incredibly productive and stay on top of stuff so well. You're such a role model for me, like genuinely. And then also, I'm so glad you moved next to me in Calc BC because I'm actually comfortable asking you questions. Oh my goodness, you guys, Calc, I have Mr. Feldman, and it's such a struggle. But Mandy sitting next to me, it's only been like a week, but it's like I know I'm gonna get a better score on that next test. And then Shaya, I have so much to say to you. I just want to thank you so much because you always have so much faith in me, and I like even when I myself don't have faith in myself, you always like go on calls. We've spent so much time calling, and you've given me so much good life advice, and just you were so patient with me. And even when I didn't believe in myself, you were always there to like make sure that I was okay, make sure that like just the belief in me that you have. I want to thank you so much. And I know sometimes that, well, a lot of the times I can be a pain, but you have helped me so much, and you've been helping me since like before I even became treasurer. You gave me so much life advice even then, and as a member, it was so like I don't know. I was just so happy to have you as a board member to talk to, and you were the first upperclassman that I ever really got advice from or were able to communicate comfortably with. And you have like changed my life so much in the sense that I talked to you about a lot of my decisions, and you contributed to so many of those decisions. And like you're just okay. I just think that if I didn't have you, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't be as confident. I wouldn't be, even though I am mentally like unstable, like a little bit because of wrong science. With that, like I don't sleep, but it's okay. I would be sleeping less if it weren't for you. But I just really want to thank you for all the hours that you have given me advice, all the belief that you have in me, and that next service year, I hope that I can really carry on your legacy in a sense, and Mandy's legacy in a sense, where I can be a vice president that other people also look up to, and that I can be that upperclassman that like my underclassmen can feel comforted and welcomed, and I can be someone like you to someone else. I don't know. Huh? I have to be happy. I am happy. I don't. How much time was that? I feel like that was really short.
That's like 12 minutes.
12? What? Already? Okay. I had some other things that I wanted to say. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for like the fundraisers. Oh my goodness. The first fundraiser and the scariest fundraiser, honestly, was Water Wars. However, like going up to that, the whole entire board, because we never experienced a water wars, the whole entire board was so nervous that it would fail, that no one would come, and oh my goodness, thank you guys all, who attended, or just for being there. Like it was amazing, and I will remember that day vividly for like years to come. And then the other thing is amusement park fundraiser. I feel like that's almost like my the one thing that I'm proudest of, because that was like our biggest fundraiser, and it was like an insane amount of work to organize that. And of course I want to thank Malika and Emily throughout that process. They like helped me so much, but I really enjoyed that event, and that was one of the events that I just wanted to thank everyone for supporting the fundraisers. And then for the next service year, I think I'm very nervous about the next service year. However, I think it will be a really good one. We just finished all the co-head interviews, and it's like it was an insane amount of people who tried out to be co-head, and of course that's like Shaya, Mandy, Jungwon, what you guys left for us for the next service year. But I'm really excited, especially going into it with Chrissy, Malika, Stacy, and Darian. Yeah, so I want to end it off on a positive note. that this next service year is going to be even better. Yeah, hopefully.
Hi everyone. I honestly can't believe I'm standing here ready to say, oh my gosh, I didn't expect myself to become ready. Okay, I honestly can't believe I'm standing here ready to say my farewell speech because this is something that I saw seniors do during my freshman year. What's wrong? Guys, I'm not even leaving. Okay. But I think I just saw your faces and I'm just like, hold up, they're leaving. Okay, but I don't really know how to explain this, but being on the board was a huge deal in my freshman self's eyes. So I would sit on the call and I would see all our board members during that time, and I'm like, wow, like that's really impressive to be leading such a big club. And I really didn't expect myself to be here, if I'm honest with you. But I think I got lucky because freshman year it was COVID, and so like none of the freshmen were active, and that's why I like ended up here, you know? Okay. Okay. I have been reflecting a lot on my high school life, my values, the people I have come to interact with lately, and I honestly think it's an understatement to say Key Club is a community that I cannot thank enough. Sometimes life takes you in directions you don't understand. Like there's obstacles. Okay. Guys, this is not how it was supposed to go.
I think I cried before you started crying.
Okay. Okay, life throws obstacles at you, obstacles that you might think you may never overcome. But I've come to realize that during these times, know anything is possible and keep being true to yourself. Don't change your values, don't change your core identity, yet know how to be inclusive of other people with different backgrounds because they can help you. And this, I realized through Key Club. I know this speech may be going in an unexpected direction, as I expected, I don't know. But I wanted to really share that you are lucky to be part of a community like this. To genuinely care about a community, it starts with your interactions with the people around you. And I think that's what really makes people in Key Club, that's what makes people in Key Club really great. It's full of people who care about their community, which means it's full of people who are genuine about their daily interactions with the people around them. And if I'm honest with you, it's not easy to find people like this. When I reflect on what Key Club has done for me, I feel that I want to do so much more for it next year, because I feel like I haven't been able to do enough for what I've gotten out of Key Club, and hopefully next year will be my opportunity to do that. And I'll be able to lead Key Club knowing I gave my best to it. So, okay, my Key Club journey. Freshman year, I had just moved from the suburbs of Illinois. I swear, if half of you guys don't even know where that is, I'm gonna be kind of not surprised, okay? And I honestly remember how lost I was. Coming from like the suburbs of Illinois, it's different. And trust me, you guys won't understand how different each part of the US can be. I thought I was in a different country. Like, okay, I was born in Kentucky, right? My parents say, you just walk across strangers and you say hi. Like, you just walk down the street and you always say hi to whoever passes by you. And then Illinois is like a lesser version of that. So like you only say hi to people who kind of look up and your eyes meet, you know? And then New York, you just walk past. But anyways, I won't go into detail as to what happened. That's a story for another time. But my view on New York City was daunting. But the one group of people that patiently waited for me to adjust was Key Club members. And I remember people would commute extra just to commute with me and be my travel buddy. And small things like that were a huge deal for me. I've come across people who cared enough to frequently go walk all the way to Dunkin'. Is this guy here? Okay. But for instance, to pick up coffee since I don't have a lunch period, and and I was like going on no sleep, and so like someone was willing to just walk there to pick it up. And of course, during high school, you're bound to experience struggles, and I've come to realize that the people I trust boil down to my board members. And I want to point this out because this is my one chance to say thank you in this way in front of everyone, and really show that I'm like so grateful for each person, each of you. And yeah, farewells are sad. Guys, I wrote farewells are sad, but since it's March, I'm not gonna cry. Because I thought I wasn't gonna cry. Okay. So I didn't write these down because I didn't have time. But okay, let's start with Youngwon since she's webmaster. Okay, first, thank you for your input in Key Club and making the newsletters so beautiful. And I know you added a lot of things on the website that's really helping our Key Club run. But aside from Key Club, thank you for always, like, I've never seen you upset or like sad or down. You're always like a happy virus, I'm not gonna lie. And you care so much about the people around you. Like, you're willing to help everyone with linear, and you're able to point out people who need like some uplifting, and you're able to ask if they're okay. And also the time where we hung out at Hudson Vessel was fun, so that's like part of my memory. What else? I see a lot of values that we share, and I feel like I was very comfortable sharing a lot of my personal stories with you, and I got to learn a lot from yours. So yeah, kudos to you.
I love you.
Okay, and then I'll be last, but Mandy, guys, she is a character. She makes me smile all the time, and also she stays up until like 2 a.m. just to call with me and do an 8-push review. Like, who does that? Just Mandy. And you were very flexible. You're very flexible with the people around you, and you're very aware about, like, you're very socially aware, and I could notice that by the way you treated your co-heads and the way you like asked us about how you're doing with the co-heads, and I felt like I want to be more like you in that, like, be caring. Guys, I can't speak. Okay. But anyway, thank you for everything. And you did a really good job with VP. So set the standards high. Yeah. And then Shaya. Shaya, I feel like I can't say like it through words, but I feel like I see you so much as a role model for me, and I felt like you are such a hardworking person, and I just can't. You're such a hardworking person, and like the standards you set for our club is so high. I'm like hoping that next year I can, stick up to that standard. And if you guys don't know how hard it's being president, it's like beyond what you see. And like I saw Shaya pull everything together this year. This year's the first time after COVID, and so as I'm starting to transition into presidency, I'm like, I could have never done what Shaya done, starting everything from scratch. So yeah. Also, thank you for life advices. You're always willing to share. And Melody, I'm not gonna get sentimental with you because she and I are working next year together, so it'll be awkward. But yeah, Melody, you're someone I can trust, and I couldn't say I can find anyone better to work with next year. And I'm honestly like so glad we started freshman year together, and like we're all the way here. So yeah, I feel slightly more confident now that I know I have you on my side. Yeah. 10 minutes? Is that 10 minutes?
I don't think so.
It's like 9 minutes 30 seconds.
Oh, that's.
Oh.
I got a little
I've been
time left.
talking for a while. Okay, maybe I should thank my members. Don't you think so? Don't you guys think so?
Really cool.
Okay. Oh yeah, co-heads. But honestly, I was gonna keep that to Mandy. But my co-head, dang, you guys work so hard. Yeah, I feel like last year, honestly, not every single co-head put in this much effort. And I feel like you guys bounce off of each other, and when one person works hard, the other person works even harder. And yeah, you guys are also like some of you my age, but like most of you guys are younger, and it's really great to see how you guys step up and like help out our club. So thank you guys so much for that. The members, some of you guys are kind of funny, so yeah. Thanks for making me happy all the time. Yeah. Summer memories were really good because I got to spend a lot of time with the underclassmen, and yeah, it was so chill. Anyway, hopefully that wasn't too boring. Alrighty.
I like wrote it down here, so I'll just like, I have to look at my phone. But okay, hello guys, I'm Jungwon. I'm really bad at being like emotional, so I don't know if I'm gonna cry or if I will make anyone cry, but I'll try my best. I'll just try to thank everyone and every experience Key Club has given to me in my past few years. Yeah, wow. I never thought I would one day be standing here giving this speech as a board member. You guys might or might not know, but I transferred to Bronx Science in my sophomore year, which was an online year because of COVID. Yeah, so coming to a school with no one I know except my brother, who was in a different grade, was very hard. And yeah, like I couldn't even see people's faces, and it was really hard to make new friends. So the first friend I made that year was Rebecca, and she was the one who introduced me to Key Club. So I still remember seeing Shaya with her camera on at the virtual club fair, passionately promoting Key Club. And at the time, I never even imagined I would be shouting "Join Key Club" with her one day at an in-person club fair. I can't thank my past self enough for applying for the co-head position, because I can't even imagine how my life would have been if I had not become a scrapbook co-head, because I wouldn't have met the people who have encouraged me to run for this position even. Like I wouldn't even be here right now if I had not become a scrapbook co-head. Yeah, I met my first friends at Bronx Science through Key Club, and I am so thankful for being able to get more involved in this club. Yeah, being a co-head has given me the confidence to challenge myself and overcome my fears. So when I was a co-head, or even before being a co-head, I wasn't thinking about running for the board position at all. Like even during my co-head term, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like do co-head and that's it. Like I'm not gonna run for the board position. But well, that was because first I was a transfer student, so I didn't think people really knew me. And also, I feared public speaking ever since I moved to America in 8th grade because I was too insecure about my English. So I was scared of like giving speech or just like being a board member of such a large club, so in a new school. So yeah, but the people I met through my co-head term, like other co-heads and board members and like just regular members, they really gave me the confidence to challenge myself, because they were like so supportive, and so I wanted to contribute to this club and make it an even better place for these amazing people, and that gave me this unwavering support. So yeah, I decided to trust their faith in me, and I also didn't want to disappoint them, so I ran for this position. And you guys don't know how hard I worked to win this position. Like I spent an entire break working on my assignments, and I prepared my speech a month ahead of the election. So yeah, I really wanted this position. So I'm so thankful, and I could I could win this position because there were people supporting me, and I'm gonna thank them later. So yeah. Okay, so just wanted to talk about some people that impacted me so much in my Key Club journey. So I'll start with our board members. So Melody, I resonate with your story about your growth in Key Club, and because I was also really shy and scared in my first year at Key Club. And even though I'm not as good as you at public speaking right now, and I don't have a voice as loud as yours, but I can definitely say I got so much better throughout my years in Key Club, and I'm so proud of both of us. You're such a cool and charismatic person, and I aspire to be effortlessly funny like you. And I don't know if you guys went to the Lunar Showcase yesterday, but she's also good at dancing. She's really good at dancing. Yeah, your passion for everything you do always impresses me, and you're already doing such a good job as the next year's vice president. And I'm so excited to see your future path because I'm confident that you will be successful no matter what you do. And next, Chrissy, you're like my little sister, but I still have so much to learn from you. You're so genuine, kind, smart, and beautiful. And just like Melody, your passion for everything you do always amazes me. Also, you're one of the people who made it possible for me to be in this position right now, because without your encouragement and support, I wouldn't even have tried out for this position. You say that I always support you, but I think it's the other way around. Yeah, you always support me no matter what, and I'm so thankful for that. Yeah, I miss sitting with you every morning last year, and sometimes hanging out. And I'm blessed to have met someone amazing like you. Throughout the years, I've seen you going through many challenges, but I've also seen you grow so much from those challenges, so I'm very proud of you. Yeah, I'm really proud of all your accomplishments, and I can't wait to see where you end up. Thanks for being in my life. Okay, next, Mandy. More people should recognize your caring and kind personality. I see you most often throughout the day among our board members because we share like 3 periods. So I'm glad that I got to spend more time with you this year. And you have so many good qualities, but one of your best qualities is that you help anyone with no hesitation. You tutor Chrissy for hours, even when you're busy with your own work, and spend a lot of time on planning our committee meetings to make it as fun as possible for our co-heads. You also helped me practice my speech with no hesitation when I was running for the webmaster and bulletin editor position. Yeah, even when you were busy with your own election preparation. Yeah, from your little acts, I can tell you genuinely love Key Club and helping out those around you. Also, as a fellow bowling team member, bowling would have been really boring without you. I really love your energy, and from that energy, I can tell how great your passion is for both Key Club and bowling. I really enjoyed our post-practice McDonald's run, and I will miss that a lot. Yeah. Finally, Shaya, you were the best president any member could ask for, and I really mean it. I'm always beyond impressed by how much time you put into Key Club and how much you care about our club. I think the fact that you befriend almost every single member at events just shows how amazing and friendly of a leader you are. I also got to know you more this year since I became closer with you as a friend, which sophomore me would have never imagined. You were like a celebrity to me at the time, who I thought I would never get close with. And I think it was because I shared 2 classes with you, and you seemed very extroverted and kind, and I wanted to be someone like you because I was quite the opposite. When I saw you being elected as the secretary of Key Club on the Zoom call, I wasn't surprised and was so happy for you because your love for Key Club was so evident in your speech and every little act you do, which I could tell even when I wasn't friends with you. You work so hard in everything you do, and I admire you so much for that. I think you should be more proud of what you have accomplished in your life, and I just know that you will be successful no matter what you do, just like everyone in this board. Because seriously, your dedication to the things you do is greater than anyone I know, anyone I've seen. Yeah. you're such an amazing person, and I'm so glad I got to become friends with you this more closer this year. Yeah. Let's go on more window shopping before we are off to college. Yeah, I also wanted to talk about every single co-head. I know Mandy is gonna do it, but I'm gonna be quicker than Mandy. Yeah. So, I often talk to Shaya about like how amazing our co-heads were. She can prove it. Yeah. Like I just go like, oh my god, our co-heads are so good. Like they're so amazing. All 12 of you guys were all so hardworking and kind, and yeah. So I'll just like say one or two sentences about each of you, starting from projects. So yeah, Darian, my successor for the webmaster and bulletin editor. I am more than confident that you will do amazing as the next year's webmaster and bulletin editor. And please don't hesitate to just text me or just ask me whenever you have questions. Also, you're also really effortlessly funny, and you always brighten up the mood whichever group you're in. And I hope your positivity and humor can shine throughout your time as a board member. And Jessica, you're so easy to talk to, and I still remember talking about webtoons and manhwas at the Naisum Extravaganza event, and we need to give each other more recommendations. And yeah, you seem like you get along with other co-heads so well, and I think it's because you make those around you feel so comfortable. Malika, yeah. Malika, you're such a sweet person, and I love talking with you. And you're so cute yet mature. And I love your hugs a lot. And I'm so confident that you're gonna do amazing as a treasurer next year. And Emily Xia, yeah. You're such a floofy person, just like your Instagram username, and you're so cute, and I love your style. And also, I really love the earrings that you gave me for Secret Santa. They're literally the prettiest earrings I've ever owned. Yeah. Emily Zhang, hi. Okay. You literally have the cutest smile I've ever seen, and just seeing your smile makes me happy. I told you this before, but when you smile, you look like Squirtle, the Pokemon. It's so cute. Yeah. And Eric, wait, I saw it. Okay. Eric.
No, when you're leaving the frame.
Oh, I have to be here. Okay. Eric, you have such a good sense of humor, and I aspire to be funny like you. And you also have such a good manner, which shows through every little act you do. And the food that at your dad's restaurant was really good. So thank you for letting us have a committee meeting there. Stacy, hi. Stacy, I remember telling you to apply for the co-head position when you were a committee member in our scrapbook committee when I was a co-head. And I feel like that was just yesterday, but now you're the secretary for next service year. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of how far you have come, and I would like to think that I had a significant role in making that possible. Sumaya isn't here, but she went to LTC earlier. But Sumaya, she's gonna see the recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Sumaya, I also first met you when you were a committee member when I was a co-head. And at the time, I never imagined I would get this close with you as a friend. Now you're my gym buddy along with Mandy, and I love having little talks with you. I'm so proud of you for getting elected as the next LTG, and I just know that you will do amazing. And Jeonjin, you were also my committee member, and oh my god, you really went above and beyond this year as this year's graphic co-head, along with Emily Guan. Yeah, and you're such a calm and mature person, and you're so organized, which I should really learn from you. And Emily Guan, same to you. Yeah, I could tell you really put so much time and effort into every project you have done as a co-head. and you're such a positive person, and I love seeing your smiles whenever I see you at gym or hallways. Yeah, I'm very proud of you too because I was scrapbook co-head, so I know how hard it is. But you guys really slayed this year with the scrapbook committee. You guys should. Okay, are you guys done with the scrapbook? No, not really. When they're done, when we maybe after LTC, you guys should really look at the scrapbook they made because it looks so good. Like it's very detailed, and yeah, I could never. My scrapbook last year compared to theirs, it's nothing. Yeah, so I hope that Inly and I had a big role in making you guys become co-heads, and I'm so glad you guys stayed in this club, and I hope that I contributed to that. Ina's not here, right? Yeah, Ina's not here, but Ina, where did it go? Ina, thank you for always being so supportive and loving, and I feel like I've gotten more unwavering love and support from you than any of my friends. I will really miss your hugs a lot. Kevin, hi Kevin. You're so easy to talk to, and I loved how you were always there, whichever event I went to, and I feel like you and Key Club are inseparable, and I hope it stays that way. And I also wanted to talk about my fellow co-head Binley last year. She's not here, but maybe she can just watch the recording. I'm so glad that I met you as a fellow co-head, and I can't believe how close we got because, not gonna lie, at first I felt like you would be hard for me to become friends with. It felt like we were from two different worlds. But now we even went on a college tour together, which was so fun, and I hope our friendship stays even after we are off to college. I would also say thank you to Luke Zhao, who graduated last year. He helped me so much with my election process, especially my speech. He went on multiple Zoom calls with me just to help me with my speech, and I can't thank him enough for that. Thank you to all these people who made my Key Club experience so memorable, and I will never forget my 3 years in Key Club, and I will miss every single one of you guys. Our regular meetings and our weekly events. Even if I'm not crying, please know that I am genuinely sad for leaving this club, but I have such high hopes for our next service year because you guys are all so amazing. Thank you for listening to this. It could have been boring, but thank you for listening, and I love you guys.
Can you stop the recording?
Okay, I feel kind of dead right now because I was just sitting on them, but hello. Is that recording?
Yeah.
Oh my, okay. I actually didn't think I'd be here. I wrote something at 3 in the morning, and that was, so this could be interesting. But basically, I kind of didn't think I'd be here. I didn't think I'd kind of age, which is crazy to think about. Oh, everyone ages. No, not me. But now I'm here, and that's kind of crazy because I see all of you, and y'all babies to me. And I still think I'm a baby, so that's even weirder. But I'm thinking of I'm thinking back, and I'm just looking at all my co-head chats, and I'm looking at them all slowly fizzle out and die because all of y'all moving on to better things, and it's low-key kind of depressing. But that got me thinking about other things, like my journey and how I kind of moved beyond the other people I left behind. So we're gonna start from the beginning. We're gonna start from my brother because if y'all were here during a little over a year ago during my election speech, and you were listening to my ramblings of an insane person, you would know I have a brother, and he's a dum-dum, because he was in Key Club, and he got me into Key Club, and the second he got me in, he was like, oh, I'm done, bye. But you're an idiot. I know you're watching this. You're an idiot, but thank you. You got me into the best decision of my life. So I get into Key Club, and I'm just doing things. I'm going to events, and I'm having a great time. I'm basically doing things that I normally would do when I was in middle school. I was very, very much into just helping other people, but I didn't realize it. I was kind of in self-denial. I was like, no, I'm not a good person. So I would just go. I would attend. I attended like 10 different clubs just so I can be like a friend to someone, because someone else is like, you want to come? I'm lonely. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you're dying into my time management. So that's why we have good time management skills, if y'all were wondering now. And some of y'all have asked me this before. But I'm going through my time in Key Club, and I'm having a great time, and I'm pushing myself like really hard because I really want to make everyone happy. And that was not such a great idea. And the person who taught me that is the second person I want to shout out, Akane, who is a past vice president during me and Shaya's like freshman year, vice president during me and Shaya's freshman year. She is so cool. I remember I was doing an event. It was like 29 degrees outside, and I did not wear much, and I was dumb, and I was like, I gotta keep pushing through. It's an outside cleaning event at a park in the middle of nowhere, and I'm just like, I gotta push through, and I'm literally freezing, and she's like, no, get in my car, we're leaving. So she's the one who taught me that you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. And that idea has really stuck with me throughout this entire experience. So she's really cool, and I go through Key Club even more, and I'm like, I want to get more involved, I want to keep going. So I signed up to be a projects co-head, and I think my journey through Key Club has been very unique. I've been a projects co-head, I've been an awards co-head, I've been vice president. I've seen both sides of our weird and odd little relationship that we have. So I actually remember me doing my project assignment, like to apply to co-head, and I was like, what? I'm literally lying on my bed, and I'm so confused. I'm like, do people know what they're doing? What is this? And I'm so confused at how anyone knows, like, oh, how do I email someone? Like, how do I be professional? And I was so nervous. It's like, maybe I'll know, like, what's up when I actually become a co-head. It's like, and then I realized now, no, you never know what's up. You never know the right answer. There is no right answer. You just do your best. And that's a mindset I've kept in mind this entire time. You just do your best. So I wanted to get even more involved. So I wanted to be a board member, but I didn't want to be a secretary. I didn't want to be a webmaster. I didn't want to be a treasurer. I definitely didn't want to be president. And I was like, Akane's cool. Let's be vice president. So I go and do that. And I know for a fact when I'm running the first time, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally sitting there in my chair, because it's on Zoom. I'm sitting in my chair just wondering, like, as I'm talking, what am I doing here? Like, what do I want from this club? I'm just here talking because I was like, oh, this person's cool. I want to be like this person. And I have no idea where I'm actually going with this. Even when I was working on my assignment for that, I was working off of just, oh, I have kind of an idea what's happening, but I really don't know. But I go back to my idea of just try your best. And we go through that entire thing. I'll save you the dirty details of my, like, sadness afterwards, but we lose, so that's a thing. But then afterwards I was like, no, we don't lose. We keep going. And so I get up, I go, and I apply to be another co-head, because I can't just leave Key Club. That's not something I can do anymore. Like, I love this club. So I go and apply to be another co-head. And I actually applied to be a PR co-head. Shia remembers. She'll bring it up every now and then, and I don't know why she remembers this, but she remembers. I actually applied to be a PR co-head, and I'm like, I have no art skills. That's why we didn't want to be webmaster or bulletin editor. So, that, suffice to say, that did not go that well. But William, which is really, I ran against William in the last election, so I was really confused when he was like, you're a co-head now, and I was like, what? But he made me an awards co-head, and from the year before, I don't know what an awards co-head does. I don't think anyone knows what an awards co-head does. Sorry, Kevin, Anina. But I don't think anyone really knows what an awards co-head does, because it's kind of like a work in progress. And during my year, I realized that, like, even though I don't have as many duties as I did as a projects co-head, as an awards co-head, that doesn't mean I can do less. Because midway through the year, after I was on, Jungwon said this, I was on bowling with Jungwon and another co-head, Finley, and I forget which one of them said this at our first meeting, but one of them said, like, oh, Mandy, I forgot you were a co-head, and I was like, oh, that got deep. That got really deep. So I decided from that moment on, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go forward. We're gonna make sure people know us, because just being a co-head, just doing the work isn't enough. It's about being present. It's about being there. It's about being with everyone, and it's about, like, serving everyone. So I go ham at events. I go back to where I started at the very beginning with all of my, like, oh, I love Key Club as like a freshman, as like a baby. I keep going, and I go through all these events, and I realize that I like Key Club not because, like, oh, I want, like, a position for college, or oh, like I want to like make someone proud, or like, oh, I like this person and it's really cool. I like Key Club because it gives me the opportunity to serve other people. It gives me the opportunity to make other people happy, even though I never looked for that opportunity in the first place. It gives me that opportunity to just be with my friends, hang out, and do great things. And I love that. So I go into my second election, and it's really nerve-wracking because, again, it's a virtual election. Who's that? It's a virtual election. And I'm literally sitting in the exact same spot I was in my first election, also against two candidates for the exact same position. This is not like something, this is like PTSD, like trauma is coming back to me, right? Like, I can visualize myself losing, and I can know it because I've seen it before. So I'm literally shaking. Like, the second they kicked me out of the meeting to like sit there, I'm literally shaking in my bed, just like, I don't know what's happening. So that's great. But then I realized I have to say my piece, because I'm here not because I want the position or because I want, like, I do want the position, but not solely because I want the position, but because I want to lead this club and I want to bring it to places. So I say my piece. I give my speech, which I like to call Ramblings of an Old Man, which goes over how I cannot spell. So I give that entire speech, and it's really nerve-wracking through the entire thing, because in the middle of the speech, they give you time, being like, oh, you have this many minutes left. But my like adrenaline-riddled brain thought, like, this is how many minutes I have gone. So I started slowing down, and at the very end, they're like, time, and I'm like, I just finished. And then they kicked me out immediately, and I immediately just crawl up into like a ball. Like, I seem pretty confident now, I hope, but literally I'm like on a ball in my bed, shaking, just like, what have I done? I've said my piece, and yet I can't get rid of this feeling that something is like wrong, that I'm so nervous for no reason. But I get it, and I don't know why I get it, but I get it. And that moment, if you saw that, it was just so much joy, because I realized that I not only have the ability to help other people now, I have the ability to help other people help other people help other people now. Which, yeah, help the co-heads, help other people, which is you guys. So that moment was just so, for lack of better phrasing, beautiful to me. So going on to my co-heads, they've like hyped me up so much. I don't know why they hyped me up, because it's basically like ramblings to why y'all kind of dumb. But I have it written down. I have them written down because I cannot memorize all these things. So we're gonna start with projects. Y'all have worked so hard this year. I was a project co-head, Chrissy was a project co-head. Every project co-head knows this. You have to be on it, like 24/7. You have to be on it, you have to be ready at a moment's notice, and you have to know what's happening, or basically 90% of what's happening in the club, which are events. And that is amazing. We've had the most events. We have virtual events. We've had like in-person events just fused together for the first time this year, and you guys handled that beautifully. So we're gonna go through them one by one. So hello, Jazz. Okay, so I'm gonna go with first impressions. When I first met you, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so tall. Like, first of all, she has mad Gentle Giant vibes. Like, she's so tall, but she's also really quiet. And I feel like a mom when I say this, but I was like, she's like quiet. She was like me. Like, she's so quiet, but she has like such a big personality inside. Like, oh, what if she doesn't make any friends? What if she doesn't make any friends? Like, what if she's too nervous? What if she's too shy? And you don't know how happy I was when I was like, oh my god, she's friends with Malika. She's friends with Emily. She's talking with people. It's like, I don't know whether it was like, I don't know whether it's like self-validation, like, oh my god, like someone who was like kind of like me can do it. But it was really good. Yeah. You have immaculate work. Like, the second I saw your assignment, I was like, I need this person. It's just beautiful. You kind of like, you are very thoughtful with things that you do. Like, I noticed that you pay attention to a lot of details. You look at things in a different way. And I remember, like, at some point someone told me that like, you were worried about like whether you were enough. And I was like, I think it was running, but just in the act of worrying about that, you are definitely enough. Most people do not think about that. And I love your like beautiful soul. Like, your heart is so kind and it's so gentle, and it just makes you feel very comfortable. Alright, Darian. Alright, Darian, we go way far back. Like, I saw you in bowling, which I didn't know that you took as a rebound sport. Oh, damn. Like, I saw you in bowling. I was like, I gotta keep the freshmen here. So, yeah, that's why I was so like, oh my god, hey, Darian. Like, every single time I saw you. But afterwards, when I saw you at club fair, I'm like, you're like one of the only freshmen I know. I gotta get him now. Like, I remember, I was the one who went up to you and your group of friends. I was like, sign up for Key Club. That went out well. I feel like I kind of raised you because like I did that. I got you into Key Club. I recommended you to be a co-head. We went bowling with Jungwon, where you did interesting conversations. Also, I learned you were colorblind too.
What?
Yeah, he's colorblind.
And he's my speech. Yeah.
It's not a.
No, you took my speech.
That's a you problem. But I feel like I raised you, like, kinda, like, when I saw you up here and I saw you scream like this when you like won, I was like, that child, I made that child. I remember like even you knew my brother, so me and my brother, the second we met you, I remember we went home and we were like, that kid's going places. Like he has the ability to draw people and he makes people happy, he makes people laugh, and that's a very good skill to have, and that's amazing. Alright, we're gonna head on Malika. Malika kind of looks like she's dying right now, but that's okay. Malika, I don't have any like funnies for you because you're just generally like not someone I can poke fun at because you're just so amazing. Like, I feel like with you and Emily, like fundraising in general, y'all popped off this year. Like me and Emily, we had no idea what we were doing. Like we're just sitting there. I've never been a fun to help other people and you go out of their way to like contact people. What do you do? I'm too scared to do, honestly. Like when I was first like trying to, and you heard, I was like when I was emailing during like fake emailing during my assignments, I was so nervous. I could never just like sure call people and be like, yo, what's up? Like I call people that I know frantically, but people I don't know, it's major social anxiety. And that's something I admire. Right? You have that ability, and that's not something that you're born with. That's something you train. That's something you work hard for, and you're definitely someone who works very hard. All right, Emily. I don't have a way to put into like correctly words how I feel about you. That's like because okay, first of all, I remember when we were first introducing all of our co-heads, I kind of felt bad because we all meant to say something about, we all like organized like, okay, you're gonna say this about this co-head, you're gonna say this about this co-head, and then when it came to your turn, I was like, oh, why is no one talking? Because my goldfish brain was like, why is no one talking? 5 seconds later, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be the one talking. So I'm sorry about that, but you are someone I feel very calm around. Like every now and then I meet someone who I'm able to just exist with in silence. I get nervous and I talk a lot when I'm nervous. You're someone who I can just sit with off the get-go. I can just sit with and just chill with, and that's very rare to find. All of y'all are very comfortable with me, but you are very, very comfortable with me. Well, with me, to me. Yeah. I know you work equally as hard. You guys work behind the scenes. I feel like you're like the shadow government to like Malika. Yeah. So I should just say, y'all are amazing. All right, let's go to social media. Where's Eric? Oh. All right. I gotta cover both you kinda at first because I find this really funny. I managed to accidentally pick. What is this? Oh, okay. I managed to accidentally pick like two co-heads that are one like very, very sarcastic. They're two very sassy. They're three very hardworking, and they're like four always wearing black. Maybe Emily's not doing it right now, but I see it all the time. Eric, we like dash you a lot, being like, oh, you're just like William, and like we're like, oh, you like the way he dressed, you like the way he talks, but in the reality, it's mainly the way you make us feel. You make us feel safe. You make us feel like we have someone to rely on. Like you're always there to like be. No, not to you.
That is so not true.
At least to me, I feel like you're always there to like support and be with anyone.
No, you're
very
just like
chill.
William because you look like him.
No. Alright. So you're someone who works very hard. I know you did not apply to be social media. I would know that. And I remember like we stalked your Instagram and be like, can we justify putting him in social media? But you have adapted so well. Like social media is one of the jobs where it's not like any of the other co-head jobs. And it's not, you applied to something that's way far, far out from there. And to say that you adjusted well is an understatement. You didn't adjust well. You didn't meet the bar. It's a hard bar to meet already. You didn't just meet the bar. You leapt over it. That's incredible. Also, it's kind of funny that I see you every now and then after Japanese. So we get to talk about how Chizu Sensei is kind of weird. Alright, Emily. Okay, so at first when everyone like met you, they were like, oh my god, like during the interview, or after, oh my gosh, she's so adorable, she's so squishy. And I agree with that, but I didn't really think that at first. I thought that this person is someone who's one, very squishy, but inside she's got thorns. Like she has such like a strong personality. Like I kind of feel like, well, you and Eric, like you guys call the shots evenly. Like you are there making a lot of decisions, and everything you make is so immaculate, so beautiful. Like I didn't think that you were a very social person because you just sat there and you're like so small and you're like, oh, she's in the corner. But no, you carried social media so hard this year. Eric carried the videos, you carried a lot of other things. Literally almost everything else we do. Alright, I scrolled past a lot of things. I saddled both of you with so much work this year, but you guys really picked it up. Like we made new things, we kept old things, we made more of old things, and you guys really got it done. Sometimes I feel like you guys work too hard, but that's kind of on me. But you guys, everything you make is immaculate. It's 110% of what anything I expect. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Wait, you didn't tell me your first impression of me.
Oh, you don't need to know that. So okay, Stacy. I don't really have much to say about you. What I admire about you most is kind of like your whole aesthetic. Like you are so cool. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, also, how do you say your last name? Q or QU?
I don't know.
You don't. that like totally bullet trains my like cool thing, but whatever. But like everything you do, like your fashion sense, like you have this kind of thing that like everything you touch turns out to be beautiful, and it's like I could never do that. Like I remember the first time, I'm also really bad at recognizing faces. So I remember the first time you like changed like your hairstyle at the meeting with the other board farewells. I was like, "Where's Stacy?" And you're like, "I'm here." And I'm like, who is this? But you fit everything so well, and it's honestly so cool. Alright, Samaya's not here, but I'll talk into this. So Samaya, you know, I call you the stoic one. At first you seemed like really quiet, you seemed kind of stern, like you kind of seemed like my mom when she like disappointed at me, just looking down at me like, But I know now, like we're gym buddies, like someone said, we're gym buddies, and I know now that like you're actually really funny. You're really cool to be around. And I know that you do really well as like LTG next year. Okay, we're gonna go to, okay, Emily, go on. I have actually a lot to say about you. So I remember the first time when we were introducing our co-ed, I just heard a scream out like, she's insane! Which I still find hilarious and I still hold true. But I said you were saying because of your sleep schedule. And that was basically my funny way of saying that you have a very rare skill, which we like to call self-care, which our co-heads and board members do not practice for the most part. Dum-dums. You have basically mastered the art of like, oh, you take care of yourself, and therefore that translates to you taking care of others. It's when we say happy things like happy president, happy club, it's that art of taking care of yourself before taking care of others, and that joy spreading around that you basically mastered. You were such like a positive, like just being like you connect. You sit in this like odd spot between all my co-heads like little cliques, where like you connect a lot of people, and that's mainly because you are this kind of positive beam of light. Yes. Hey, Dungeon. Dungeon. Okay, so first of all, I did not know you could dance, Mr. Rapid Enigma. But you are like so. I don't know. I kind of feel like your personality is very squishy, and I like that. I like that about you. I remember there's one time Melly told me that like you were like, oh, Mindy seems like she knows what she's doing. Like you kind of looked up to me, and I was like, that gave me so much confidence, just like your belief in that, like in me when I really had no idea what I was doing. Like, so thank you so much for that. Okay, we're gonna go on to. I think Ian's not here, so we're gonna hit Kevin. Where's Kevin? Oh, Kevin, you're like always there. Like you are synonymous with Key Club. You are there always. I feel like if I go to an event and Kevin's not there, it's not an event. Like it's very comfortable being around you because I know there's always someone I can rely on. I know there's always someone willing to help, and you put your all into everything. You pick up when we have things that are straggling around. You pick up when other people put down, and that's very, very good. I just hurry this up. So we're gonna go to Jungwon.
Hi.
Hello, Jungwon. I didn't write anything for the board, so that's great. You give off this very like Zen attitude. Like you say you're not very good at emotions, but I can see that like even though you're not very good at like expressing like emotions, or like I've never seen you sad and I've never seen you like extremely emotional. Well, I still feel like there's a lot underneath you that is like there under like this level of like very good self-control and very good like caring for like yourself, caring for other people. Oh, you have this very Zen attitude around you, and it makes me very calm a lot of times. Also, we can talk about physics a lot, and you're in all my classes, and that's great. But you are like my emotional support throughout this entire like board. Like I rely on you. Well, I rely on Shaya for like logistical support. I rely on you for a lot of like your just calmness and your calmness and like your ability to make other people around you just like feel good without like being like, oh my god, yeah. All right, we're gonna go to Melody, my successor. Yo, what's up? I feel like I've been the hardest on you throughout this entire year. I don't normally call people like obsessive boyfriends, but you are someone that I really wanted to be like, you have to be here. You are my successor. Like I believe in you, and I kind of hold you to like a very high standard, and you have left over that standard. You are someone you are so charismatic. You are someone who's so good at public speaking. You're someone who's very, very, very kind and very, very funny. Because we'll sit here during filming class and we'll just stare at each other like, do you know what's happening? No. Do you know what's happening? No. And I love our interactions like that. And while like you are my successor and I put a lot of high expectations on you, you have done, just talking about this year, you have done amazing. Like you had no experience with like fundraising and I had no experience with fundraising. I kind of just like thrusted it all on you. Like it's all Melody. She's the treasurer. But honestly, like you have really, really picked up like everything and just formed it into something that's like they've been able to rely on, that everyone's been able to rely on, and we've been able to make something that's incredible. Well, for lack of better phrasing. Hey, Chrissy.
Hi.
So, Chrissy, we have very good late night sessions with like short study halls and everything, but I feel like I'm also on your case a lot, and maybe you think that like, yeah, like it's like bothering me to be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna help you with like all this history stuff, but no, I get really bored, and you help really fill my time. It's like you help me remember things about like junior that some things that I would like to forget, like the workaholism, and some things that I really like to remember, like my class in short. And sometimes I worry about you a lot. Like I feel like a mom when I say this. I feel like all y'all like babies, but I feel like a mom when I say this. But like you are so smart, you are so talented, you are so like beautiful, you are so amazing, and you are so bad at taking care of yourself. And I worry about you sometimes. And while I can't force you to take better care of yourself, I do want you to know that everything you're doing right now to like that you're resting, that I appreciate that for you, but also that like I like seeing like you happy, I like seeing you joyous, I like seeing you healthy, and that's all I really need. Like I feel like you being like joyous and healthy and happy is like part of like fueling my soul. So keep doing that. Okay, Shaya. Okay. I was kind of lying a bit before. I see how you're going, oh no, I'm not Maddie's emotional support. You are my emotional support in a different way. A completely different way. Because, well, John was someone who calls me down. You're someone who gets me invigorated. You're someone who inspires me to do other things. When I think of Key Club, I think of you. Like, freshman year, you were the person who always says the pledge. You were the person who always does everything. You were Key Club, and you still are. You are the best president or vice president could ask for. Because I had no idea what I was doing, but I had you, and that means everything was fine. It's why I looked like I knew what I was doing. I had you to be there when I was struggling. I had you to lead all of us, even when we all had like our own issues, when we had our own things going on. You were always there trying to group everyone together, and you were always there to make sure everyone felt heard. And I feel like I've grown really a lot as a person because I know you. Like I am not. You think I'm an emotional person because I cried during like one of our first board meetings. That was the first time I had cried in 3 years. Like because of what I heard all of you say, because of how amazing and beautiful and how sad all your stories were in their own ways, and everything about you guys makes me just happy. It also makes me sad. It gives me emotions that I've never felt before in my life. Like I don't think I've ever felt this like touch. Like I'm kind of starting to tear up. Like I've never done that before and this is a result because you guys are there and you guys have basically kind of taught me how to like be this more like empathetic person. I have this very crude way of speaking, which I hope like my feelings of how much I appreciate you and how much you've done for me like come across. But if they don't, just know that you are the most impactful person in my life. And that's it. Thank you.
Wait, I'm so honored. Wait, guys, I've never gotten a hug from Mandy before. Oh my god. Okay, go sit down.
Yeah. Okay, so, is it on? Okay. Okay, guys. I hope you didn't make too many bets on how long it would take me to cry. I was gonna say that it's because I'm not gonna cry today, but right when I read that, I kind of felt a little bit. Okay, anyways, so moving on. Many of you might know me, but maybe for some of you, this is just your first meeting, and you came wondering what's so special about farewell speeches. Well, let's get a little sentimental, shall we? So, to those of you who are old or new, hi, I'm Shaya. I'm currently your president, although not for much longer. And I was your past secretary and scrapbook co-head the last 2 years. Wait, I already feel like crying. Wait, no, forget what I said like 5 seconds ago. Wait. Shaya, the picture of you in the can is you right now. Okay, so. Okay, so throughout high school, Key Club was a place for me when I was stressed for family, school, and personal problems. It was a place for me to go to when I was lost or scared, wait, why am I the only one crying today? When all I wanted to do was fake a COVID positive or simply not exist anymore. But instead, I would tell myself to wait until Thursday because that was Key Club Day, and that was when I would see a room full of people who depended on me and that I loved. To my board, I told Melody this after the Amusement Park fundraiser, but in other communities or speeches, everyone always talks about how they made a family through that community. But I never really believed in that because there was like no way you'd get so close to people that they were literally your family, right? Even in sophomore and junior year, I didn't feel like Key Club was my family. It was just the community that I cared about a lot. But working as a president this year kind of changed something about that. Feeling like I was directly responsible for everyone else on the board and the co-heads made me more aware of myself and how others felt through my leadership. Eventually, I got to learn so much about the little habits, whether annoying or not, that everyone on the board had. I truly do see you guys as my family now. And I remember telling Melody that was why, like after the Amusement Park fundraiser, no matter what happened, how irresponsible you guys were, how unhappy with me and my indecisiveness, or how you guys ghosted group chats when important things were being discussed, I never really got angry or stayed mad for long, because like family always sticks with each other no matter how many arguments you get into. And sometimes I didn't feel upset at all, even though you guys thought that I did. And because like I know that you guys are all humans and that you have like your own lives, and I wanted you all to have a positive experience in Key Club, one that was kind of cut short for me. And there were many times when I often felt like I was robbed of my Key Club experience. I wasn't upset at COVID for taking away my high school experience. If anything, it taught me about myself and boosted my grades before the horror of junior year. But I was upset at COVID because it made me realize that I was never able to be a member of Key Club. I couldn't go to LTC, I couldn't attend Light the Night, I couldn't throw water balloons at Matthew or my K family during Water Wars, and then they all graduated. And then I couldn't attend big events without ever wondering where the project captain was, if they knew what they were doing, or how not to get everyone kicked out because you guys are grouping around. And that's like a responsibility of the president, not a member. And that's why I tried to make up for that lack of experience that I had or didn't have by making sure that everyone else could have what I wanted during this year and the years to follow. That's why I tried extra hard to be a happy president for everyone, for my board, for my co-heads, and for my members. But it really wasn't easy. I struggled a lot as president, especially when things didn't go the way I expected or when I felt like others were losing motivation to be in the club. Chrissy summed this up pretty well when she reflected on her position as project head. But when you're in a position where everyone is depending on you to do your job well, whether or not you chose that job to begin with, you naturally just kind of take up that responsibility. And that's why I know that Chrissy and Melody will be amazing presidents and vice presidents next year, because they will now be in positions that they can be proud of, that people depend on, and because they have each other to count on for who have had experience with board work. No matter how you guys feel next year, just know that you might be imperfect, but you can still try. And usually, just the effort is enough. Like, you can be messy, but don't forget to be kind to yourself and others. And as I always say, a happy president is a happy club, but also a happy vice president is a happy president. So just keep that in mind. And to everyone listening in this room, I just want to say, don't get into Key Club for the positions or a reputation. There are Key Clubbers who have never ever held a position or have only been co-head towards the end of their high school careers to just experience what that's like, who have gone to amazing schools and are incredibly happy right now. And I could go into the whole story about how each of us got into our positions because, to be honest, we didn't choose it. Like, I was originally gonna run for LTG. And then everyone on the last board was like, no, you can't leave the club level, like there's gonna be no one else running the board. So I was like, oh, okay. And like, I originally only wanted to be secretary because I just thought spreadsheets are so cool and I wanted to do that, but I didn't really think about what happened after. And like, even when I was scrapbook co-head, like I didn't want to be scrapbook co-head, I was gonna run for projects. And then like everyone, like every single like upperclassman that I knew suddenly like reached out to my DM within the like a span of like 24 hours. Was like, I think you should run for scrapbook. Oh, are you interested in co-head? I think you should run for scrapbook. So I was like, you know what? I'll just run for that. But like, we got into our positions because we liked the club, not because we wanted to get into college. And like, you're going to get into amazing schools. So like, just don't think about Key Club as a place where you have to compete with each other. And like, get into Key Club because you love the community, because volunteering makes you and others happy, and because you just care about people in general. And I often felt like an annoying boss or a nagging mother to many of you, not just the board, you members as well. But I hope that now I can just be your friend. It's sad to think that one day I'll wake up and realize that I'm not in Key Club anymore. But at the end of the day, Key Club is about the community you make through it. It won't be Key Club itself that I'll miss and look back at, but you guys that I'll miss and remember. Remember, or whether or not you contact me ever when I go off to college, or if you'll even think about me, just know that I feel so blessed that you guys are the ones who I got to work with. That you guys are the members that I got to meet and learn about and lead. That you guys are the board that I was able to have. To Chrissy, Melody, Mandy, and Jungwon, I can't thank you all enough for how much you have taught me. And honestly, the more I think about it, isn't this all anyone ever wants? To have a job that has a meaningful impact and that you enjoy. I hope that we will stay in touch, and to everyone in this room, my DMs will always be open. I can't wait to see what you all do in the future because I know that it'll be amazing. Something that this club has taught me was to give the benefit of the doubt always, to always be kind and to love unconditionally. I hope that you guys will all take these lessons to heart too. Nice guys don't finish last, and kindness is always the best option. And after all of that, it's crazy to think that tonight I'm gonna go home and find out which school I'll be going to for the next 4 years. And then I have this section for the next board. To Darian, Mandy took this, but do people know you're colorblind? Like, you literally won bulletin editor and webmaster while being colorblind. And we all know that Camden carried your assignment, but your designs are also super impressive, seriously. But you're also colorblind. Like, you really fooled everyone here. And speaking of which, stop acting dumb, because we all know you're secretly smart and self-aware. But, you know, if you're not, like, actually smart and self-aware, then just start manifesting that you are. To Malika, I'm so proud that I was your first introduction to Key Club, that I was at your first event and made an active effort to make you feel included. And I honestly saw potential in you from the moment that I spoke with you, and look at how far that potential is taking you now. Keep working hard and don't take your non-existent PF partner, or don't let your non-existent PF partner ruin your junior year. That doesn't really matter anymore. I wrote this like a month ago, and then I realized you got kicked out of the debate, but it's okay.
I did not get kicked out.
Okay, well, don't let your non-existent PF partner control your life. To Stacy, girl, did I not tell you to run for secretary? Literally, you weren't even going to run for any position. Like, what a waste of good potential. I love your resourcefulness and all of the amazing designs you make. Your consistent standards and sleep schedule are some things that I will never achieve. How do you literally sleep so early? Like, you're in bed by 8, going to sleep at 9:30. And I hope that never changes for you. And keep being curious and asking questions, because we need a president who will know the ins and outs of everything. And that goes to all the rising juniors on the board and everyone else listening. To Melody, should I just read your letter of nomination out loud? Because I spent 3 hours on that. Like, girl, I wrote 2 whole pages. Most letters are barely 1. Even though I gave you a hard time sometimes, you know that it's because you do such good work, and I can't help but always expect the best from you. Don't let robotics kill you next year. Kiko needs you more than ever, and you're going to have 12 co-heads and 4 board members looking up to you and waiting for your word. Don't ghost them, okay? To Chrissy, you need to let yourself rest every once in a while, like genuinely. I know that I also give you a hard time, but I think the difference between you and Melody is how much you guys can actually handle. Of course, you're both not handling at all, but your commitments can never end, while Melody's does at some point. So please give yourself a break and feel okay with dedicating more time to Key Club, or more time to yourself if you need it. After all, you're going to be our club's president in 2 days, and similarly to when you were project's head, your work will literally affect all of our current and future members. Of course, everyone on the boards will, but you especially need to be on top of yourself. Good luck. I know you're going to do an amazing job, especially if you sincerely work hard for the next year. Make sure that you and Melody have really good communication, and I already know you're gonna crush everything. Like, our goals this year, maybe you'll triple low next year, I don't know, but we'll see. And to the seniors on my board, even though you were seniors, it was still so hard to navigate because I was the only one who had prior board experience. But even so, it was nice to have people on the board who I could rely on and even vent to. It was nice to have people who weren't as busy and as the juniors, and who I could genuinely look for help whenever, whether in person or virtually. You guys were like the moral and emotional support that I needed to get through everything, and I really appreciate all the times you helped me set up meetings and wrap up service events while Chrissy and Melody were busy doing SGI or at other meetings. And guess what? In 2 days, I'm literally just going to be a member, like in freshman year. JC is sitting at my exact seat. And I'm going to be your immediate past president, sure. But the board is always just a member at the end of the day. That's what we take to heart the most. So I hope to continue serving you all as well. And if any of you don't attend Chrissy's meetings or give her a bad time, I will literally use my powers to log into the Key Club email and take away all your points. And I wrote an angry face here, so just know it's true.
I'll change your password.
I'm kidding.
I would never. Guys, our password is like.
But no, I don't think that would happen anyway, because there's no way you guys would disrespect Chrissy, right? Right?
Yes,
Wait.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's such a kind soul, and I'm so glad that so many of you are already so passionate about Key Club, because you're really setting the stage to change the future. This year is just one example of what a new year of leadership can bring. More than doubling our service hour goal and fundraising goal was just one part. But seeing the silliness that you all bring to Key Club this year reminded me of the upperclassmen that I met in my freshman year as well. And that truly gives me hope. To everyone in this room, especially the co-heads and those of you in our LTC group chat, don't ever stop being you. You're hilarious, kind, funny, and I'm so glad that I met all of you guys. Of course, don't ever leave Key Club either. But all I wanted this year was to be someone who you guys could look up to and feel comfortable with talking about your worries and asking for advice. Because that's what Loretta was for me during my junior year. And I know how stressed out you guys are. I genuinely do. I've been there, trust me. And while I don't really think I fulfilled that role for you guys this year, I hope that now that I'm retiring from this role as president, you'll no longer see me as your boss, your superior, your other nagging mom, but just like as a friend that really does care and wants to help. I don't want you to feel like it's a burden talking to me about official business and responsibilities anymore. And I don't want you to avert your eyes when you see me in the hallways. You can just say hi. I'm not gonna do anything to you. And I always thought that March was the worst month of the year, and this definitely adds to my list of reasons why. But the worst will always pass. I took this whole month just getting over the fact that I wouldn't be in Key Club anymore. But it's okay because I'll still be here for you guys, just not as your president. But I love you all. Thank you all for letting me stall your time. I actually wrote that here. And for taking a moment to stay after school today. Thank you for letting me be your president and for trusting and looking up to me. And until next time, I hope you all have a caring day. Yours truly, in care and in service, your friend, Shia Lynn.